Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Headbanger's Closet. Hope everyone's doing well and enjoying their weekend so far. So this video is just going to be a this just in type of video, just kind of show you guys some of the albums and some other stuff I got in recently to the collection. If you're just new to my channel, appreciate you watching. Basically, I just talk about my collection. I've got records, shirts, posters, CDs, magazines, all sorts of stuff, just talking about my heavy metal collection. So appreciate everybody checking out the channel if you're new here. And yeah, let's get right to it. This is going to be some stuff I just got in recently, and we're going to start with a show. Some stuff I got at a concert. The last concert I went to was a couple weeks ago. It was in Atlanta at a place called The Loft. It was the Vader 40th anniversary tour. They came with Inhuman Condition, Origin, and basically I bought the ticket for Inhuman Condition. They are a death metal band from around Tampa, Florida. Some young band. They've only got 2 full lengths and an EP out. Really good Floridian death metal. If you dig bands like, Death, Cannibal Corpse, Massacre, that just the good Floridian death metal stuff. You're gonna like these guys. Really cool dudes, great stuff. So I basically bought the ticket for them, but Origin was awesome. I've never heard them before. Really fast, really heavy, technical death metal, really good stuff. And then Vader. I like Vader, but I'm not really a big fan. I was blown away by their set. I mean, really good. They look really old. They're doing their 40th anniversary, right? But they look old. But man, they sounded good. And the guitar player, dude looked like he was mid to late 60s, and he was just freaking shredding up there. Headbanging, just wailing away in the guitar. Awesome stuff. I was completely blown away by the performance. I didn't think they were going to be that good, but they were awesome. But I went there for Inhuman Condition, so when I got there, I picked up a few things, and it kind of leads me to a comment I got in one of my last videos. Somebody asked me where I get all my shirts. Well, I buy them from bands' websites, websites like Night Shift Merch and Indie Merch Store, but mainly I get them at shows. So I was able to pick up a couple of shirts for Inhuman Condition, and what was really cool was the guitar player and bass player were the guys running the merch booth the entire night. So this is the Inhuman Condition, the Godzilla shirt, and I'll kind of tell you why about Godzilla in a second. There's the tour dates on the back. And then I also was able to pick up this one as well. Cool looking Spider, Inhuman Condition. Like I said, if you dig really good death metal with vocals you can understand, it's not brutal death metal, it's just good death metal, and awesome riffage. Check them out, Inhuman Condition. So like I said, I got the shirts there, and I picked up a couple of records. This is their latest release. It's an EP called Panic Prayer. It's got 8 tracks on it, 4 studio tracks. A couple of them are, originals, and then there's some covers, and you get 4 live tunes as well. So 8 tracks on this one, Panic Prayer. And there's the album, and one of the songs on here is Godzilla. They do a cover of the original Godzilla song. Sounds really, really cool, hence the Godzilla t-shirt, which I thought was awesome. But check it out, really cool stuff. And next one I grabbed from them is, now you can notice the guy. Check out the guy. If you want to go back to one of my earlier videos about a few weeks ago, I showed their first full length, which is called Rat God. Here's the guy. So basically, they have the mascot, this dude right here. This is their album, their second full length called Fear Sick. The bass player and guitar player signed it for me. There's the dudes in the band. It's a gatefold. So they've got this dude on the cover. There he is right there. He's like their mascot. And they were posting on social media this week because of the whole Pestilence thing with the AI cover. They were talking about how, they support artists, and the artists that they got to do their records came up with this dude, like this guy. That's their mascot guy. So the artist came up with that. He's on all 3 of their releases. So anyway, check it out. Inhuman Condition, really good stuff. Let's get right to it. Next one is Municipal Waste Hazardous Mutation reissue on Earache Records, red vinyl. Picked this one up a few weeks ago at the Vinyl Frontier in Carrollton, Georgia. It's on red. And what was cool about them, I picked up a few records that day as well that I'll show in this video. But I love this one. This is the only Municipal Waste album I don't have. So really excited to get in the collection reissue from Earache Records. And they put it out on Friday. This is what we got just in this week. And they put it on Instagram. I was able to call them up and be like, can you hold these 3 records for me? I'll be up the next day. And that's key. From where I live, the closest record store is about an hour away, which is Carrollton, or I got to go to Opelika, Alabama. I like when record stores do that. They show what they have. If not, I might not be able to make it in. So if you show me that you got something I want, I can at least call and buy it from you and support the store that way. So anyway, that's just my soapbox. I'll get down now. So here's Testament's Dark Roots of the Earth on Nuclear Blast Records reissue, gatefold, splatter vinyl, 2 LP set. And, Testament's been reissuing a lot of their 90s and early 2000s stuff. They just did this one. The Legacy is coming up pretty soon, which is their first one from the 80s. But they got another one coming out. I forget which one it is, but it's on Splatter as well. And it's all Nuclear Blast Records reissue, so really cool there. Next one's another reissue. I got Sepultura's Arise, one of my favorite records, one of the records that kind of defined my last couple of years of high school. Just listen to this thing when it came out. This is a gatefold. You can find OG copies. The last one I found, I almost pulled the trigger. It was beat to hell, but I just couldn't justify paying about $100 for it, so I got the reissue. It's on Road Racer Records. Really, really cool stuff. Absolutely love this record. A lot of the good thrash metal albums that are coming out lately, thrash metal bands rather, kind of sound a lot like early Sepultura, which is awesome. Next one I got is a record that will be in my favorite underappreciated and underrated 80s thrash bands. This one is Hydravane. The album is called Rather Death Than False Faith, and this is another reissue I got. These guys are a 80s thrash metal band. I believe they're out of Wisconsin. Hello, Wisconsin. But they're really cool. Just good old school 80s sounding thrash. Their first 2 records, I think, came out in 88, 89. Just good stuff. This is a reissue on clear and red splatter. Really cool stuff. If you dig early 80s thrash, or not early 80s, but 80s thrash metal, with the early 80s thrash metal sound, you're going to dig these guys. Just cool, raw 80s thrash metal. And here's another one of the records I was talking about, getting to the vinyl frontier. It's a Megadeth bootleg. This one is entitled Wake Up Dead in 2004. It is, it doesn't even tell you where it was recorded. Maybe it does on the inside. It's a radio broadcast recording. Check it out here. This is an import, obviously, and it is on red vinyl. So really sharp looking right there with a Vic Rattlehead. So let's kind of put it back in here and I'll tell you guys the track listing. So it's Wake Up Dead 2004, which would have been maybe the Risk tour. I could be wrong, but you get side A, Wake Up Dead, In My Darkest Hour, The Scorpions Set the World Afire. Side B, Angry Again, Of Mice and Men, Something I'm Not, Skin Oh My Teeth, and Reckoning Day. Recorded live in concert from a radio broadcast 2004, and it does not say where. But pretty cool bootleg. I'm glad I got in the collection. Next one is a Black Sabbath reissue here. Black Sabbath, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath on Rhino Records. Start Your Ear Off Right. And this is a gatefold, smoky colored vinyl. I love this album. Looking for Today is underrated track. It's probably one of my all-time favorite Black Sabbath tunes. There it is, like on almost like blue, but it's like, it says gray, smoky vinyl. It looks blue to me. But pretty cool reissue here. I actually have an OG, and I don't think it's like the first pressing, but it's relatively early pressing of this album, and it's just beat the hell. I don't even take it out of the plastic sleeve anymore, so I'm glad I got a reissue. Next one is a Exodus record, just like Testament. They're kind of releasing a lot of their 90s and 2000s stuff. We're just reissuing it, and this is also on Nuclear Blast Records. This is a gatefold 2 LP set. There we go right there. Pretty cool. And I'll just show you the album. These are all splatter. There's a couple of them I got today to show you from Exodus. What the hell's the opening? Here it is. So black and gray and brown clear splatter. Pretty sharp looking. This one's pretty cool. Blood In, Blood Out. Dig this record. It's not my favorite, but I kind of like more recent Exodus. I mean, I love the early stuff, but I really like the stuff that they came out with, like, in the 2000s. I just kind of thought that, they stayed true to form. Just like, Exodus and Overkill are probably the 2 most consistent thrash bands out there, in my opinion. I guess you could throw Slayer in the mixes from there as well, but they did have a few albums in the 90s that didn't sound too thrashy to me, but, whatever. Exodus, Blood In, Blood Out. Next one is another Exodus. This is called Temple of the Damned. Another reissue. Love this album. It's one of my all-time favorite Exodus records. And this one's also on, I think, Splatter's also a gatefold. Let's check out what the colors are like here. 2 LP set. This one's sharp looking. It's like fire splatter. Clear with yellow, orange, and red. Really sharp looking. And I think just like Testament, with these Nuclear Blast releases, I think Exodus has, I think, 2 more coming out here in the maybe like the mid to late spring. So I'll definitely be picking those up as well. You know, these 90s and 2000s, you know, albums, they didn't put a lot of them out on vinyl. When you find one, they're pretty expensive. So I like picking up these reissues for like 30, 35 bucks. So next one we got is this awesome, awesome death metal band. It is Inanimate Existence. It's like, you know, death metal, you gotta read the thing. It's called The Masquerade. These guys, I believe, are from, I think, Minnesota. I could be wrong. Anyway, if you dig death metal, like technical death metal, you'll like these guys. Really talented musicians. A lot of cool like, solos and guitar fills in this thing. The songs are really long. It's almost like, kind of like a Master of Puppets version of modern death metal. So yeah, take that as you will, but check it out. It's really cool. The album, like I said, it's called The Masquerade. This is such a killer splattered vinyl on like puke green, yellow, and black. Really cool. Inanimate Existence, awesome death metal. They've got a couple of albums. The recent one came out, I think, 2023 or 2022 maybe. It's awesome. It's, like I said, really long songs. And I think describing it as the Master of Puppets of death metal really fits right there. Just really cool stuff. It's one of those albums you can put on the headphones, and if you want to partake in maybe a little marijuana, it's one of those albums you just put it on and light one up and go. It just sounds really, really good. I love this record. And last but certainly not least, another Vinyl Frontier import that I picked up that day was Metallica. Really cool. It's called the Sandman Era. This is on red vinyl. Just love that picture of Het. Red vinyl right here. Really cool looking. I mean, the set list, you get 6 songs, right? You get side A, you get Sandman, Harvester of Sorrow, and Sanitarium. Flip it over to side B, Wherever I May Roam, Unforgiven, and Creeping Death. It just says live in concert, 92 radio broadcast. Doesn't say where it was recorded. I probably have 50 CDs and albums with these songs on it. They're just kind of like rehashing recorded radio broadcast tunes and throwing it on vinyl. But it's Metallica, my all-time favorite band, and I didn't have this in the collection, so of course I gotta grab it. So anyway, there you have it, guys. Those are my most recent additions to the collection, basically all reissues, which I love. I'll buy them pretty much every time. So hopefully you dig it. Appreciate everybody checking out the channel, and I'll have another video for you guys very soon. Cheers, everybody. Have a good weekend.